All right, y'all. So we are tapping into the first real life XP meeting. This is the first time we doing this in 6 weeks. The last cohort was 12. The information has been compact to only contain the necessary elements of the program. For people who are not familiar with real life XP, which is probably most of y'all, real life XP is something that I came up with about 3 years ago. It's a program for entrepreneurs. If you've seen the website or the workbook that I sent to everybody yesterday, then you will understand what I'm going with. It is basically a roadmap for you to better yourself as an entrepreneur personally and to grow your business. This particular program also includes credit repair, business credit, and business funding. So I will make sure you have a fundable company by the end of the 6 weeks. If you are not fundable, you will have the tools that you need to be fundable. And it's up to you if you follow through with what we set up to make sure that you become fundable. This is not information that I found online. This is not information that I read in a book. This is unique information that I put together with my past and the things that I've been through and my experiences, my education, and the way that I feel about entrepreneurship, especially for people like us, is that we are missing certain things as far as knowledge, funding, and experience. And a lot of times we don't have people that we can reach out to and ask for the things that we need because not everybody have entrepreneurs close to them, at least not successful ones. So what happens when you have unsuccessful entrepreneurs is that they try to tell you what not to do. Don't don't quit your job. Don't do this. Don't do that, but they cannot tell you what to do. So I have done pretty well for myself as an entrepreneur, and I have different elements of entrepreneurship sprinkled in here from experience, and I have other elements from education. And I just wanted to put a really good program together. And I appreciate y'all for being here. I already know that some people will not make it all 6 weeks, but I will record these and I will offer one-on-ones to anybody that need them in the meantime and in between time. But a lot of the information for the program will be covered in these group sessions. Without any further ado, I want to get into it. And this will be a pretty good layout of what the program consists of. Once again, the program is called Real Life XP. XP is exponential progress. That's what it technically stands for. And when you see the writing, sometimes they say an entrepreneur acceleration program like this. So, what I believe is exponential progress is actually bettering yourself, actually bettering your business, not trying to look the part. Social media have us to where we feel like we always have to play a role. We always have to look like the better us. We always have to flodge in front. But in real life, you only make progress when you are real with yourself. If you are not looking at your numbers, if you are not setting goals for yourself, if you are not saying, I have to trim this fat, I have to do X, Y, and Z, if you are not making the proper adjustments, then your business is probably running helter skelter and your business is probably teetering along. In order to make exponential progress, you have to do this head on. You have to do this intentionally. You cannot make exponential progress by accident. And this program lays out what that looks like. Everyone here is from a different industry. So I will not go into intricacies of every single industry. The program is 6 weeks. As I stated earlier, it used to be 12 weeks, but I realized that a lot of it was just fat. So I trimmed the fat and I want to make this as impactful. I don't want to hold people up for 12 weeks for something that could have been done in 6. But the program is fully laid out. Like this is not something that I freestyle. If you see if you worked through the workbook, if you read through the workbook, then you understand that I actually put thought into this program. And all I ask from you guys is that you give me an honest testimonial at the end of the 6 weeks. And any other services that you need, I'm going to make sure you have access to that by the end of the 6 weeks, including our real life XP, um, the different courses and different things like that, especially the 5 hour course is a pretty good course. But also real life boost, which is our credit repair do it yourself plan and software is dope. Now, in order for you to transform your entrepreneurial dreams into reality with a proven system, you have to understand that a system is necessary. Once again, a lot of us are we freestyling and we just going about it because we used to hustling. This program is for us to stop hustling so much and to put the right systems in progress and processes together. And the only way you can do that is if you understand exactly how your business runs. And so we will go through that on those one on ones or any questions that you guys have. But for now, let's get into it. So, experience and execution. So, a lot of people talk about losses. We've all taken losses as human beings, we've all taken losses as hustlers, we've all taken losses in work and business and everything else. But in order for you to excel in business, you have to learn from those losses. And that's where experience comes into play. Without losing and without actually acknowledging the loss and taking the lessons from the loss, it's hard to execute. So, this is where experience and execution pushes and propels entrepreneurs through these type of programs. A lot of us have downloaded courses. A lot of us has have read books about our business and what we should do. And a lot of times if you don't have accountability, none of that matters. So this is not just another business course full of fluff and BS. This is where we want to trim the fat. We do not want to keep hustling. You did not become an entrepreneur for you to work more than if you would have been clocking in. So over the next 6 weeks, we will develop the CEO mindset that drives success, build the operational systems that create leverage. Leverage is using your resources to give you an advantage, whatever those resources are. And then we will make sure we establish the financial foundation that supports sustainable growth. And that's just developing uh, business credit and personal credit. And that starts with making sure um, your credit is A1. Your personal credit has to be decent for you to build business credit and business funding. Even though people will tell you you get a no credit check loan or no cosign and all that. Listen, you have to get it together. And it doesn't make sense to wait another day. We do have the DIY program, and I'm telling you, it's the cheapest credit repair you're going to find. You just got to print them out and mail them yourself, but it's all good. This program is designed for entrepreneurs who are serious about creating financial freedom, building scalable businesses, and making a lasting impact. If you are an entrepreneur that's tired of spinning your wheels and you are trying to make the best of your entrepreneurship, this is the program for you. Here are a few of the things that you'll gain: a CEO level mindset. Confidence is everything. And you gain confidence by having a framework. You can get all of the information in the world you want without you having some form of policy about it, some form of organization about it, without you having some form of strategy that helps you make certain decisions, right? You need a strategy because not only does a strategy show you what you need to do, it also shows you what you don't need to do. If you understand your strategy as an entrepreneur, then you know what you don't need to do. That is a part of leverage also. Being able to say no to things that do not align with your goals and your strategy. Without a strategy, you all over the place. As a CEO, you have to think long term. It doesn't matter if you are the only person in your business. And for a long time, I was running my business. It was just me. And over the last year, year and a half, I've hired a VA, marketing team, different people who depended on me being successful to continue to bring clients in and do certain things. And it makes you think, okay, if something isn't working, I need to regroup because somebody else is depending on me. And sometimes that can give you the confidence you need because you always on your A game, knowing that somebody is dependent on you to feed their family. Time freedom systems. This is automations and things like that to help you not have to do everything. Today, I actually text y'all, but usually I send a blast or I have automation set up to send a weekly reminder. These type of things free up your time so you can do high level things to better use your time and your effort in your business, which is another form of leverage. If you are not using automations, you do not have systems set up in your business, then you are doing yourself a complete disservice and you are creating a problem that will have to be solved for you to get to the next level. Will also help you get financial structure. A solid financial structure is needed to support substantial growth. And what this means is no matter what your business is, if you want to expand, it's going to cost you. If you are printing t-shirts and you want to expand to DTG or some other form of printing, you'll have to invest in machinery. You may have to invest in space, and you will also have to invest in the knowledge to actually operate the machinery. So to think that money doesn't matter or you could penny pinch your way to the top is foolish thinking. You need financial structure. A fundable business model is a business model where investors don't mind investing and customers don't mind spending money with you. If your business doesn't have a business model, then people will not partner with you. You won't even understand who you need to partner with. And you'll probably lack structure and strategy. You need a fundable business model in order for you to be fundable. Here is the real life XP framework. This is as simple as I can put it. So this is what I consult on. As I stated before we start recording, that your business is your business is based on a lot of different factors, but you want certain systems in place. You need a lead generation system, a sales system, a system to make sure that people get what they pay for. And then you need a system to make sure you keep people, like to retain them, because it's cheaper to keep a client than it is to get a new one. So the acceleration program is built on this comprehensive um, entrepreneurial, it's like a roadmap. So the things we'll discuss here is mindset. And what we'll do is help you cultivate the mental resilience and strategic thinking of elite entrepreneurs. We trying to go to the next level. Productivity, this is where you manage your time and your execution strategies that multiply your output. Once again, that's how you generate leverage. Your systems, this is where you build automated processes that scale your business without scaling your stress. Automations, if you are doing any task repeatedly and it's something that you can pass off to machinery or a VA, you should not be a six-figure entrepreneur doing $10 things. There are people who will take that $10 an hour and do whatever is needed to be done. We will discuss your financials. So this is where you get it all together. You make sure that your financials and the foundations of your financials are profit based, and you are focused on not only generating a profit but using that profit to grow your business. Relationships. This is where we develop strategic partnerships and build a powerful network of supporters. Partnerships are very important. Do not think that you go out and network and you give everybody a card and it's almost like showboating. Look at me. Look what I do. This is what I do. You should be able to find somebody with any respectable level of networking. You should find somebody that you can partner with strategically, whether they are sending you referrals or vice versa, whether they are building something for you or building something with you. That's what networking is for. And you have to cultivate these types of relationships. Your legacy. Your legacy is all about creating a lasting impact, and you want to build a business that transcends your daily involvement. You want to get out of your business as fast as you can. So that particular framework is built on the 7 steps of scaling. So here are the 7 steps of scaling. I will not go into too much detail, but we will cover all of these things in real life XP. And these are mine. These are my frameworks. This is my information. What you seen in the workbook is all me. This is not something I pulled from the internet. So you should not find this anywhere else. And there are other variations of these types of frameworks, but this is something that I mapped out entirely for my programming. So the first step of scaling is to shift your identity. This is how you transform how you see yourself. You don't want to be a solopreneur, you want to be a CEO. If you are not growing your business, you have to take full accountability for that. And we will help you step into the role of a true business leader. The second step of scaling is aligning your purpose with profit. This is where you discover how to make money doing what matters. So you can have things that you love, you can have things that you are passionate about, and then you have things that you feel is your purpose. But if you don't find the sweet spot where you could have all those things and you still make a profit, then you are doing yourself a complete disservice, and you should take the time to see, okay, this is what I truly enjoy, this is what I love, this is what I have a passion for, this is what I feel like is my purpose, but how can this pay my bills? You have to align with that. The third step of scaling is building a brand ecosystem. And this is where you make sure all of your branding aligns. You are communicating a consistent message to potential customers, and you have to do this intentionally. It has to be done all across the board. Step four of scaling is systematization and delegating. This is where you build a system that frees you from the day-to-day operations. This is where you can take a vacation and your business is still making money. At some level, this is where you want to be. And until you are at that level, you do not have a business that anybody wants to buy, because if you are doing all this work, nobody wants to pay and have to just get a new job. Once you are able to run your business and not have to be involved in the day-to-day operations, your business is sellable. The fifth step is to strengthen your financial core. This is where you master the financial metrics that matter, like your return on your return on investments, your return on interest, everything that you need. You have to understand what your key factors are, and if you do not understand that, then you are chasing your tail, because keeping up with how many followers you have means nothing if you are not keeping up with other key metrics that actually matter, because that having more followers can be a goal, but it's unless you are trying to be a social media influencer and you're trying to, um, you're trying to capitalize on the number of followers and you want to sell ads or something. Other than that, there are other metrics. Even in the number of followers, you want to keep up with something a little better. How many people are how many people follow you is not indicative that of anything. It doesn't indicate anything other than you are able to gather some attention. Now, if those followers are spending money, those followers are reaching out to you for your services or anything else, then that's different. But if you just gaining followers and you are not a social media influencer or something like that, that is not a key performance indicator or KPI. 6 is you want to fund with structure. So you want to position your business to attract money. And that money could be investors, lenders, any type of strategic partners, um, people who want to buy you out, whatever. Like you want to make sure your business is structured to get that money. If you don't know how to pitch, you need to learn how to pitch. We talk about a 60-second elevator pitch. You should be able to say, my business is X, Y, and Z. This is what we do, and this is how we make money. So we want to make sure you fund with that type of structure in mind. And then you want to scale with strategy. So you don't want to be all over the place even as you grow. You don't want to you don't want to go buy more machinery and then you don't have the people to man the machinery. You want to get the right people on board, then get the machinery. You want to be able to do things in a certain order. So you want to scale with strategy. And deploying these strategies and actually going at things with that's outlined. Now, any plan that you can map out, the next day you probably need to tweak it a little bit. But you want to have some type of idea of where your business is going and how you're going to get there. This is how you win in this program. You got to show up every week. You need to complete these exercises that's in the workbook. Be transparent and coachable, and make sure that you are not lying to yourself and you're not lying to me. If you telling me you making 7 figures as a business owner, then I'm going to assume that you have certain understanding of the ins and outs of whatever industry you in, certain business thing. You don't get to $1 million in any business by luck. And if you do, it's gone as fast as it came. So the program works if you work the program. You will get out exactly what you put in. Come ready to execute, stay committed to the process, and watch your business and yourself transform. I want to make sure. Do we have any questions? My guy, what's up? What's up, Mr. Smith? Everybody quiet. I must have did a pretty good job. That wasn't even the first week, y'all. That's just the introduction to Real Life XP. I am going to get into what we are actually going to cover. And this is what the weeks will usually go like. I will get on here, give a brief spiel, and then we will discuss. We go over the PowerPoint presentations, and we will have a discussion, a group discussion.
I'm listening. I just ain't got a question yet.
You ain't got a question yet? I'm
Yeah.
trying to. Most definitely, I love it. There we go. So let's do this slideshow. Let's get back in here. So week 1 is all about mindset and motivation. So this is how you think like a CEO. The entrepreneur mindset is everything that I'm about. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. Some people are more familiar with me than other ones. I've been an entrepreneur when it was legal, illegal. When I was a kid, I had a candy house. When I was 15, I sold Sprint phones and wild cable. I've had every hustle. I got another hustler on here with me. Shout out to my guy, DJ Dollars, Rob Smith. Rob Smith told me yesterday, he was in my office yesterday. He said, man, I just been hustling. So this program is all about streamlining that hustle though. I don't want y'all to overwork. I don't want y'all to over hustle. I want y'all to understand that This 6 weeks is what can change the way you think about making money. It's not to tell you not to make money, but it's to tell you to make money strategically instead of always feeling like you got to wake up and get to the next dollar, get to the hustle, get to the hustle, get to the hustle. So in my illegal capacity, I have done everything. Y'all, I've sold drugs, I've sold pills, I've sold guns, whatever you can think of, I've done it. And I'm not bragging on it, but I'm saying I've done it. And what I came to realize was trying to do everything, you kind of shoot yourself in the foot at some point. When I was trying to sell weed and crack, for instance, it's like I'm missing money. Those two different type of sales. And I don't think everybody out here has been around it, but I'm telling you, it's two different type of sales. The crack sales is different than a pill sale. The heroin sales are different than crack sales, and the crack sales are different than a weed sale. No matter what, you're dealing with two different type of sales, and you're dealing with two different type of customers. They're up at different times. You cannot do everything, and then in trying to do all of that, you are missing out on certain money because people want their weed man to know where the best weed at. People want they crack to be a certain way. Like you are not specializing in anything. Just think of it. The cardiologist makes more than a general practitioner. So going towards the end of this program, you have to decide on something that you can be great at, something that you can specialize in, because that's where you are going to make your money. Something that you can focus at least 80% of your attention on and be able to get to where you really want to be. If you can't do that, you cannot be a barber and a musician. Like, you know what I mean? You can't be both places at once. You're gonna cut hair all day, then go to the club and rap at night. You can technically do it, but you probably won't do both successfully. Same thing with being a mechanic. You can be a mechanic and a barber, but at some point you have to choose which one do you really want to do, because people going to need haircuts and you're going to be under a car somewhere, and then they don't want you to come over there putting all that oil on their head unless they like that spray stuff they doing now. But I'm just telling you, you want to specialize in something. So in my business now, I do a lot of things, but as you'll see going through the program, all of the things I do relate. They relate to entrepreneurship. They are different resources for entrepreneurs. So you have credit repair, taxes, everything. That's why it's business solutions. You have websites, automations. All of this is under one umbrella because I can do all of this. I'm literally closing tabs and going into something else if I need it. I can literally go from credit repair software to tax software in a tab. Everything is in high level. I resell high level, but I use high level. So you have to hone in on, okay, even if it's something you do. So let's say you are a barber and you want more money. Do something that aligns with being a barber. Sell brushes, sell pomade, sell straight razors, brand some clippers or some hairliners or something, but you can't be a barber and think that you're going to be successful as a mechanic. Like, you have to hustle within the realm of the same thing because people will understand this is what you do. So, we're going to talk today about the entrepreneurial mindset. And this is not up for debating and different things like that. We can talk about it, but you have to have a certain entrepreneurial mindset to be successful. And what I mean by that is you have to turn losses into lessons, and you have to be successful at maneuvering a certain way. That's the entrepreneurial mindset. When 20 years ago, if you went to school, they're going to tell you, do a business plan, do a business plan, like they're going to tell you, you need to learn how to do a business plan. A great business plan is how you do this and that. I just finished school. I'm telling y'all, they are not telling us to go do business plans. They are telling us to go out, get your feet dirty, get your hands dirty, fumble, stumble, fall, bust your head, get up, try it again, figure something else out. This is what entrepreneurship is all about. So, in order to develop that mindset, You have to think a certain way. You can't think, dang, it's not working out this week. I want to give up. You cannot let doubt and fear creep in and take you off your square. Sometimes things can be rocky and a little rough, and you got to double down. But you want to do this strategically. The main thing is not to do this blindly and not to do this without any type of research or any type of thought into it. And if you do that, then you'll bump your head and never be able to recover. Mindset is the foundation. Exactly what I just explained. So, success as an entrepreneur does not begin with a perfect business plan. As fast as you can get a business plan together, a good business plan can take you 2 to 3 weeks to plan out. I'm not talking about AI. AI can help and it may reduce the time a little bit, but it will take you weeks to get the right information and to present it in the right format in a business plan. And as fast as you're done, something in that business plan has changed. You may have had a certain outlet in there and they went out of business. You may have had a certain social media strategy and they changed it up on you. Now you got to go back and retweak it. So don't get caught up in planning. Get out, get started. Before you build a business, you must build a person capable of running it. This is what I want to work on in the program is actually having the mindset to be a successful entrepreneur and not just trying to wish on a star. If you are trying to wish on a star with entrepreneurship, you are doing yourself a complete disservice. And I hope you don't have anybody working under you because they're going to suffer the consequences the same way you are. If you are a dreamer and you wake up one day and say, I want to drive trucks, you have people around you who believe in you. They're going to make certain sacrifices for you to drive these trucks. And then you're going to finish or not finish, go on the road or not go on the road. And when you get done, you're going to have to look at those same people and rather you let them down by not finishing or not getting on the road, or whether you follow through, is going to determine how they treat you moving forward. Nobody is going to blame you for taking an L. They're going to shame you for how you recover from taking an L. So just follow through. Whatever the plan is, follow through. You run across a hiccup, you pick it up, roll with it, and get to the next thing. So here are some of the characteristics that's needed in entrepreneurship: resilience, clarity, and an unwavering belief in your vision. It's not about positive thinking alone, it's about intentional mental conditioning. And if you are not intentionally conditioning yourself mentally, then you are allowing anything somebody says, anything that goes against what you believe, or anything that um, gives you a little pushback, you are allowing that to set you back. So right now, you can decide whether you're going to let your current thoughts build your future or limit it. This, I know that people say this, but I'm telling you from experience, if you cannot see it, you cannot be it. So do not keep going after something without taking the time to actually see it so you know which direction to go to. You do not jump in your car and say, yo, I'm about to hit this road. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm about to go make it happen. It's not what happens. What happens is you say, I'm going over Auntie Kim's house. And then you say, I know I need to take 8 Mile to Southfield Freeway. And then you cannot jump in a vehicle and just go unless you want to just free your mind a little bit. But you will not reach the destination that you want to reach. So the first thing you have to do is see a clear vision. And then you can see the route to that destination. It doesn't work the other way around. So are you consciously choosing the thoughts that will get you there? Or are you choosing thoughts that keep you in park? It's up to you. If you do not feel motivated, you need to do something so you're motivated. You need to watch YouTube videos. You need to read some books. You need to watch a podcast. Whatever you do, you need to have a go to when you're feeling a certain way. Like, dang, I'm not feeling like, man, let me turn on this podcast. I don't care if it's a certain album. When I want to get to it, I turn on Victory Lap. I feel like that. Nipsey make me feel like that. You know what I'm saying? I like, man, I feel motivated. I feel fired. Like, let's get it. So whatever it is, you have to keep yourself in that mentality every single day when you're an entrepreneur. This program is all about going from hustle to structure. So hustling is when you are always feeling like everything is so urgent. You scared and you reacting, and it's not proactive. You are not following the strategy. You are not doing what you know you're supposed to do. You literally, dang, this came up. Let me knock this out. Dang, this happened and let me. It's always a response instead of you being on top of it, and that makes you fumble, stumble, and fall. So we're gonna go from that to actually being strategic, and that is when you have systems and processes, and you have an intentional plan. So you are not chasing tasks. You are creating frameworks that work without you. If you seen the things that I covered in this presentation right before this, and it had those 7 things, and it was this is how you scale, this is how you do this. Those are frameworks that I had to come up with after I had the basis of this program. The basis of the program is just mindset and motivation, systems and processes, and funding. After that, I came up with the 7 steps to scale, and I came up with other things that were based on mindset and motivation, systems and processes, and funding. And the reason that those 3 particular things are in that order is it is really clear when you think about it. You need the right mindset to even get started. If you don't have the right mindset, you are stuck. You're not going to get started. You can have an idea, you can have all these hopes and dreams, but you will not get started without the right mindset. So you need the mindset just to get off of the goal line. You got to get off the start line. You need the right mindset. So we cultivate that first. Secondly, you need systems and processes. So after you get started, you need to make sure your system is working. And once you know your system is working, you can put money into it to make sure your system gets the gas it needs to get to where you want it to get to. It don't work the other way around. If you receive funding before you have systems and processes, no matter how great your mindset is, you're going to throw money to the wind because you don't have systems and processes in order. A lot of us think our only problem is money. We need capital. But that's not the problem if you don't have a properly founded business and you don't have the right systems and processes in order to grow the business. You can get an influx of $500,000 today. Without the right systems and processes, you're going to go somewhere and jack that money off, even if your intentions are good. So you have to develop systems and processes. This is the only way you can start working in the business and start working on the business. Here are a few key principles. Your thoughts become your choices, your habits become your results. If you have negative thoughts, you're going to do something negative, and then this is going to be a continuing pattern, which is your habits, and a continuing pattern of negativity only leads to negative results. Everything begins with a thought. The thought influences your choices become your habits, and then you get results. If you don't master your thoughts, nothing else in this particular slide matters. You gotta master your thoughts first. You get confident in your business when you have clarity. If you have a process that's mapped out, if you know you can onboard a client, if you know that you can get someone in your ecosystem and you can deliver results on a consistent basis, that's where you get confidence from. Other than that, you praying and hoping, I hope this works out. You don't have to have the answers for everything. But if you have a great strategy and you have clarity, you know what the next step is. And that's all you need. It's always one step at a time. Consistency beats motivation every time. You don't need to have motivation. If you get up every day and you go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, you don't need to be motivated. It's what you do. So you don't need to have any type of motivation if you get up every morning and you go to the gym at 5 a.m. You don't need motivation. You just get up and go to the gym. Motivation fades. If that's something that you're waiting on motivation for, trust me, it fades. I go through it up, down, boo, boo, boo. A lot of times people are not staying in the gym because they can't get in there consistently. Maybe they work schedule fluctuates. Maybe they're on call. Maybe this. But if you can do this consistently, you don't need motivation. So here's the next level you blueprint. This is designed to rewire your thinking at a fundamental level. It's time to confront the beliefs that have been quietly sabotaging your progress and for you to replace them with truths that empower action. So you need to identify three limiting beliefs. What stories have you been telling yourself that keep you small? Some of the examples are I'm not ready, I don't have enough experience, and the market is too saturated. You need to reframe these with empowering truths. So, for each limiting belief, you need to write a powerful counter statement based on evidence and possibility. Here's an example: I learn fast and I adapt quickly to new challenges. This is the entrepreneurial way. You should choose one daily habit that matches the new mindset. It can be a small, repeatable action that reinforces your empowering truth. So, if once again, you have to see a few steps ahead of you in order to be strategic. But in order to make progress, you only need to make one step at a time. Habits. Habits will determine whether you succeed or fail. So do not think that just having a little habit is just a little habit, because that little habit turns into a big habit. And unless it's a good big habit, it could be something that ruins your business. So now we can get to this group discussion. Let's get to the group discussion. I think we have almost everybody here tonight. I appreciate y'all coming through. Um, let's talk about a belief that has held you back. Don't everybody rush to talk at once. Rob, you got your microphone on, so
I had myself muted because your niece is breaking my pockets over here.
you.
Well, she ain't really breaking my pockets, but that's all. Yeah.
It's all
Well,
good. So
camera, camera and everything. Like, you see, she got a big smile on her face right now.
spend that
So,
money, Niecy Pooh.
yeah, that part. So, give me a minute, Alvin. We just about out here.
I bet. So,
And real good information, everything that you broke down to. Like, seriously, seriously.
my God,
Definitely. Yeah.
and were you able to see? You kind of able to see even just in these first couple slides that, as I stated earlier, like this is my information. Like this is how I look at business. Um, and I'm a hustler. Like I'm telling y'all, I'm a hustler. Like I've been hustling like literally all my life. And up until like the last 3 or 4 years, it kind of hit me that it's only so far you can get with hustling. And we've came to the point where we think this is the culture. Like we glorify hustling when you're supposed to set up systems and get out of the business. So anybody want to talk about a limiting belief? I know we all kind of new here. Not everybody kind of familiar with each other, so we don't got to talk about all the biggest problems you ever had. But if we can get one or two people to just talk about a limiting belief, so I could talk about one myself. Um, uh, the main thing that I had to overcome in order to do good with myself as a real entrepreneur, y'all. I've literally been in the streets. So when I was coming home from the feds, I did 2 stints in the hole to be released. The first thing they did was put me in a hole, told me I was going home, and literally the night before I had to call my woman and kids and say, "Hey, I'm not coming home." Like And it was crazy. It was like I only had about 6 months left that they technically would hold me. But it was like, dude, like I'm not coming home tomorrow. Like it was literally like 3 months of daddy coming home on this date or whatever. And then it was like, no, you're not coming home. And I had spent about at the time it was like 3 weeks in the hole, and then I had to spend another 3 weeks dealing with the BS. And then they came and told me, "You're not even going home on COVID release. We're not even giving it to you anymore." So the first time I was in the hole for the 6 weeks, I can't even perp. Like I was really thinking, what am I gonna do? I've been illegal all my life. Like honestly, I was sitting in there thinking, and I had got a degree, I had got a paralegal certificate, and I'm telling y'all, in my mind, I really was thinking, man, I'm gonna do this, but I didn't know what it was. So I sat in that hole for them 6 weeks, and I was it may have been God that stopped me from going home because I honestly, that was the only time I had to slow down. I was in school from the time I walked in the feds. I was doing everything. I was hustling. I was doing whatever. I had no time to really sit down. So I was in a hole for 3 and then another 3 weeks. So it was 6 weeks that first time. And I really couldn't think what I was going to do. Like, and I'm like, dude, you're going home. You got to figure this out. And I was still like, well, if it's a lick on the floor, I might get back to it. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what it looked like, I'm going to make some money. So when I went back and those people told me, they like, we're going to let you go, Mr. Hill. Just let me resubmit your paperwork. Everybody is in the same, we all in the same mindset. We're going to get you out of here. That man pussyfooted for 5 months for something that took 5 minutes. And that is what changed my mind, right? So from there, I was like, no. When I went back to the hole to be released this time, I was only in there the 3 weeks that it took for quarantine. And I'm telling y'all, them 3 weeks was nothing like the 3 weeks, 5 months before. Them 3 weeks, I was in there like never again. I will never let these people hold my freedom over my head like they just did these 6 months I've been dealing with this. And the way it played with my kids and different things like that, I was in the mindset of I am never going to risk giving them the power to do what they just did to me beyond being sentenced. The fact that they told me we gonna let you go to quarantine for 3 weeks and go home, and then they say, oh, we changed our mind. When I tell you, it was crazy, but it got that belief out of my head that I could only do something illegal. So when I went back for the actual release quarantine for 3 weeks, I'm telling you, I went back and I was like, nope, I'm not doing this. I went back with some consulting books and I was learning about consulting, and I was like, these are the steps I got to take. And I had my mind made up that I was going to school, and I was like, this is not going to stop me. I did not feel like this second bit was going to stop me. And I'm telling you, I fully believe that I could make money legally even though I hadn't really made money legally. Now I had sold some music and sold out a couple shows and sold t-shirts, but that wasn't like paying the bills. I'm saying I have not done anything illegal since I've been home. And I've paid the bills and made money doing the right thing because I changed the mindset that I could do it and not just with illegal things. So that's something that you guys can think about. Anybody else want to talk about um, a limited mindset or a limited belief?
I got kind of like the same experience, but it was more like for a job I used to have.
Mm-hmm.
So the job is how, like, say, you ever seen them people like drive trucks, like it was like F-150s. There might be like 100 of them following to each other. I don't know if you ever seen them. Like it'd be like
Yeah,
a line of,
it'd be like a
yeah,
rent, and they be on the.
yeah, I used to do that.
Okay.
So the thing was, you do that for one day, you get like $200 a day. So at the end of the day, they decide who works the next day. For some reason, everybody used to work but me. And so this lady used to have control of how I used to work, and it
Mm-hmm.
used to drive me crazy. So we used to get like probably like 1,500 a week.
Mm-hmm.
It was a day I said, you know what? I would never let nobody control if I can make $1,500 a week ever again. So I got on the internet and I studied. I started doing everything I could to figure out how to not let anybody ever control my day and my money. You know what I'm saying? And that's been 5 years ago. And I ain't worked for nobody since. And I feel good about it. But my issue is I don't have a plan and I don't have a format. I just been doing the next thing I see. Or the next, but I was in the streets a little bit. I never, I did whatever I did, but I never was just like, I'm a street dude. You know what I'm saying? I just did little things, pills and all that. Till we being real, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
I did a little, but I've always found a way to make legal money. And it's a lot of ways to make legal money. I just never had a format. And then every time I see you talking about it, I say, you know what? I need to follow him and understand what he's saying. It's like you talking to me. I don't know who else is on here. I'm listening and I'm willing to learn. And I'm here every chance you got a class. I want to learn. And that's all I got to say.
My guy. My God. Then Rob be like, man, I know I don't want to bother you. I'm like, man, just pull up. Pull up. So I don't know who iPhone is. Somebody on iPhone got to unmute. They said that's me too. Jaja, if you don't unmute this phone and get on here and talk.
He asked you a question or something?
No, they're. I'm bringing her up to speed now.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, can I
She
talk?
done shopping. You can talk, Shay.
Um, hey everybody. So what I wrote down for my 3 limited beliefs that keep me stuck is my time, my priorities, and being consistent. That's the real tea. I don't be having enough time for me. I think I don't. My priorities, being real, I get my priorities mixed up. Um, what's that consistency? I struggle with staying consistent. Um, those are my 3 limited beliefs that I believe that's stopping me from moving forward. Like you said, it ain't about the money. It's about to me those 3 things that I have a problem with my business.
Okay. And we'll address all those, especially in the group. But one of the
Oh,
main
so speaking of that, see, empowering. I did the step 2.
got it.
Moving forward with the empower, I manage. So I pick what my 3. I pick time, priority, and consistency. So empowering. Moving forward, I'm gonna write down. I manage my time with intentions. I always make space for what moves me forward. My priorities. Set clear priorities. Be confident and choose what aligns with my growth and goals. With that consistency, I show up consistently because my future deserves my commitment.
Yeah.
Thanks to ChatGPT, baby. I told you this is my best friend.
Yeah, but the thing is, y'all, I don't even mind. We got to use all the resources that's available to us.
Mhm.
Even like the slides, that you seeing now. These were done with AI. Like I gave it the information to make the slides, but I had the actual slides created with AI, and they're nice. But I wanted everything to be consistent. So you'll see all of the slides for the program look exactly the same, like the 2 I just ran through. Please use the tools and the resources available to you to be great. Do not
Sure
let
do.
people try to tell you don't use this. I'm telling you, it's here. It's here for
Mhm.
you. I am a avid promoter of ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all of the AI models because I use them depending on what I need, and you should use them too. We will get into that in the second part the of the course, and I will tell you how important that is in your business. And being able to brainstorm with Chat GPT has it led to this program. Like this program started with an outline, and this was about 3 years ago. If you look, and I'm telling you, I could show you the logo. I had everything like 3, maybe 2.5 years ago. I had everything that was like mapped out. I was like, I want these 3 things. I was like, I need to do the presentations. And I'm telling you, I could not get the slides to look the way I wanted to until I found this program. So, and you look at the actual course, the real life XP course, it's in this same program. It's called Gamma. And I paid for it and I started doing my presentations on Gamma. And I can just give it an outline. Like, I want this in there. And I may make an outline in Chat GPT. I make a basic outline, and then I may fill in the gaps with Chat GPT, go in and change the things that I feel like need to be changed. And then I put it in Gamma, and Gamma give me these type of presentations. And I use everything, y'all. When I make content on YouTube, I clip it with Opus Clips. It give me whatever size or whatever time and I want for the clips. I can put in 30 to 60 seconds, 60 to 90 or whatever. And it's going to clip my presentation. It could be a 2 hour long video. I'm going to get 40 clips for me to post on social media. When y'all see me with those little 30-second clips and all of that, it's all from AI. I spoke and then I use the AI to clip it. Sometimes I go in there and I do my thing, but the AI most of the time give me pretty decent results. So y'all gotta use it, love it. Anybody else? I really want Jaja to talk. I don't know why Jaja over there all in the chat, but definitely because Jaja. The only reason I'm not picking on Jaja, Jaja is like one of my best friends, y'all. I know Jaja since she was like 18, and Jaja. The reason I wanted her to talk because Jaja said I said, Jaja, you need to join my coaching program. She said, but I don't really know about coaching and such and such. And I was like, no, you get on there. If you get on there the first day, you're going to understand that if somebody know what they talking about, it's a different process. It's a different program. So I definitely wanted her to come on and talk a little bit. But I ain't going to press you today, Jaja. Eventually, I'm going to need you to get on here and talk. Um, so the next week, y'all, how will you think and act differently coming up this week? Once again, I'm gonna start with myself because yesterday I had a really productive meeting with a very successful consultant, and it wasn't meant to be a consultant meeting for me. We were talking about how we could work together and how I could use my knowledge of things like this and presentations and different stuff, how I can use that in dealing with his company, and we ended up deciding on a partnership yesterday. But he gave me some valid information, and he looked over this program. So I ran through the program with him of what this looked like and my 7 core steps and different things. And he was like, you got it. He was like, man, you really understand entrepreneurship and what it takes. And he was like, but you got to talk to people that can afford it, right? And I'm telling y'all that just yesterday I've been like tossing and turning, and it's been about 30 hours since we talked. That was yesterday at like 12:31 o'clock. But it's been about 30 hours since we talked, y'all. And I'm telling you, I've literally been tossing and turning because I have certain clients that I don't even want to deal with. Payments are coming crazy. They do stuff. Rob Smith is one of my clients. When I tell y'all, sometimes he paid for stuff before I can look at my phone. Like I'm telling you, if I be like, look, man, this going look, it's sent, bro. Just you know what I'm saying? So those are the type of clients I want to deal with. This man said he doesn't consult for people unless they make $3 million. And I'm gonna say that for about 3 more days. But it made me think about it like we went over his program and my program. I'm telling y'all, it wasn't that much difference. The difference is his experience. He has 23 years of experience and who he sells it to. And Mr. Hill, the people you are selling it to can't afford to implement it. So you don't even get the testimonials you need as far as results because you have this well thought out program. You have the right systems and processes. You have everything you need, but you're selling it to people who are not ready to implement. And then you're spending half your time chasing your money down. He like, how you collect your money? Once I told him, he was like, look, you spending half your time collecting your money. He said, I make all my clients pay up front. It's no payment plans. It's no, we'll pay you half to start, half. He said, if you don't trust the process and my results, then you need another consultant. He said, I make everybody pay upfront, everything, right? Just the way he was like mapping it out for me, it gave me a different way of thinking. Like, this is something that I spent years cultivating and putting together. Why do I feel like I have to sell myself short? So going into this next week, I'm actually mapping out what it looks like to at least sell to people of another tax bracket, like maybe somebody making $250,000 a year, like just a step up and shoot some shots, just get in the gym and shoot some shots. So that's something that I'm working on going into the next week. And that will include the type of content that I put out, because once you change your target, you have to change everything else. So I'm definitely going to change the target, and I'm definitely going to tighten up on the content and everything that I post, and whatever it is, like the branding. You just want to make sure you are presenting something that somebody of that particular level would be interested in. So that's what my next week is going to look like. And I am mapping this out. I've already did some back and forth with Chat GPT, and we are working on a rebrand. So that's what I'm working on the next week, is just fully mapping this out and being an entrepreneur and executive coach. Right? I love coaching. So that's what my next week is looking like. And who want to talk? We got Shay. Let's go, Dez. Somebody jump on here and just tell me what the next week looking like. What's the goals and how you plan on achieving?
But I'm actually gonna hop in for a minute. How's everybody doing? What up, though?
Hey, what up, though?
So, what you just said, and it's been resonating with me. So, couple of things. Definitely as far as the aspect of making myself have the time and prioritize it, because of course, as you know, educator, daytime job, dean of students, that's my primary. But then being a fashion consultant, image consultant, that's what I do. That's my passion, if you know what I'm saying. But it's been some things I've been so spastic on. And then, of course, making the proposal most recently is kind of split a lot of my time. But definitely, even in that, I got to get on it. That has to change. And then, even like I say, even being a fashion consultant, I've had clients before that I've worked with, but they will waste my time. So that aspect of, well, I got to chase you down to get the money, or something of that. So you said that, and that kind of that just hit home, like straight bullseye right there, if you know what I'm saying. Charge your value, charge your worth, make sure that you get everything upfront in advance, deal with a certain clientele. If you know, and myself, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I do with that fashion thing. Like I say, the people who I align with, the people who I work with, I know what I do. So it's time to just kind of ratchet up with that. So that's just a two piece that I want to add in with it.
I love it. I love it, man. So, and do you really know what that look like, though? Like, I know you don't have all the answers right now, but I'm saying, do you got a pretty good understanding of what that look like for you?
I have a better understanding of how I need to kind of apply the pressure with it. Because like I said, with me especially, because I got that mouthpiece that get the gab, if you know what I'm saying, to kind of make things kind of fly out,
Mhm.
but it's actually really being consistent and diligent with it, and keeping true to it, keeping myself true to it. Um, I don't know if you stated this earlier, because like I said, Landon was showing me clothes and stuff, but be that as it may. And I'll say this in part of my friends, y'all, but shit gets real when you write shit down and you keep yourself accountable with it as well, which is something that me and you, we've talked about, me and her, we've talked about. And that's something that, like, I have great ideas how to implement things, but, being so busy or whatever, I got to start writing that shit down, putting that shit down on paper and making me accountable. So, yep.
Yep. Yep. That's definitely a major step. And I'm telling y'all from experience that even something like this, um, as I said, I started this, man, maybe 3 years ago, where I had this idea like real life XP, and I like worked out the logo and did all this. I got like 4 different versions of the logo. I'm like, no, I like this one, and I'm telling you, I mapped it out, and the core of this is still the core. Like what I started with, I've built on it, but what I started with is still the core. And I wrote it out. All I did was write it out on a piece of paper. I wrote out, man, this is what it takes to be successful as an entrepreneur. And I didn't feel like I can get a full course done in 6 months or anything like that, because it was original and it was mine. And I was like, I need to do more research. And if I wrote a book tomorrow, like people want to hear my life story and stuff. But if I wrote a book tomorrow, y'all, it would probably be about this. It will probably be about this and how I feel about entrepreneurship And especially for us, especially for us, it's different because we have not seen the level of success as some of the other people have seen. So we have to go through certain things mentally for us to feel like it's real. Because I don't have very successful entrepreneurs in my family. I can't go to my uncle who's been running a shoe store for 40 years and he's a multimillionaire. He's, he got one every state or doing something, whatever. I can't go to him and ask him how to start or scale a business. I couldn't do that. Me and Brian are spoken about, continuing education and different things like that. Nobody in my family has a PhD. Well, my sister got something going on, but nobody has a real PhD. So me looking at the PhD program, y'all, I had to go up there and ask a million questions that I didn't have anybody I could ask. I got a fake couple Facebook friends, my principal, different people, but nobody that I talk to regularly can I just reach out and say, hey, how was the PhD program? I had to go up there and get a bunch of answers to my questions, but I didn't mind doing that. So with us, we have to get out of our comfort zone and we have to get to the point of I don't care who I got to ask. I need this information. I don't care who I got to bother to get the answers I need. I have to do that. I don't care who I have to, who feathers I have to ruffle to see the results that I want to see. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. If y'all see my screen, the 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 homework is to complete the next level you blueprint. Everything that you see here is in there. If it's not in there, it's because I have tweaked the workbook over the last couple of days. Because I had like a six level of scaling or six pillars of entrepreneurship, and I like rehashed it to seven. So there sometimes you may see something that's a little off, but it shouldn't be much. But I did a lot of work on the workbook between Monday and yesterday, because I literally had an epiphany and was like, look, I need to change these. So I did do that. So you will may be like minor inconsistencies, but it shouldn't be bad. I double checked everything, but I'm human. I'm just telling y'all. So it should be a next level you blueprint in there, and all you want to do is construct your new mindset. It's that simple. It's that simple. You can print out the pages that's printable and just write it down, or you can just write it down in a notebook. Long as you know what it is, you can look on your computer and just answer it in a notebook. But you need to write these things down. Um, it's so important. It's so important. And then you want to journal one mindset shift per day. Like, don't not do the homework. I'm actually going to do this with y'all. I'm going through this program and I'm going to do it again with the next cohort and the next cohort because it's about the habit. So I'm actually going to go through the workbook and I'll do it again in 2 months when I start another cohort. And I just want to see, where my growth is. So this is something that I don't want y'all to, skip over. I know Shay on it. I need y'all to do these journals. Y'all work through the program with me to get the maximum benefits. These things will probably take y'all 5 to 10 minutes a day. 5 to 10 minutes a day, maybe not even that long. So, the journal, all you want to do is each day of this next coming up week, you want to document one moment where you caught yourself in your old thinking pattern, and you have to consciously choose a response. So every day, just write it down. You can write it in your notes or write an email to yourself. You can write it on social media. Like, devil, get away from me. You're not going to stop me today, whatever. But just journal it so you are conscious of it. Remember, CEOs are not born, they're built through deliberate practice and consistent execution. Right. Talk about it, Shay. You got that mic on.
It's been a
That mic
man.
on. Talk to me, Shay.
That's funny. Because I'm sitting here, I'm writing. I be doing this a lot. Um, so to piggyback off of what I said earlier, the three that I gotta work on. So this is what I gotta start doing. Which I kind of do, but I don't. So I talk about what I'm gonna do today, but I don't write the shit down. And I ain't gonna lie, what I talk about, I execute that shit, but I just don't write it down. I am big on planning, so I got a planner I keep with me 24/7. So what I'm about to do with that time, especially when it comes to my business. So the at least 10 minutes a day or a little bit more longer. I need to do, and I gotta do it every day, consistency with the business. Prioritize. So I need to at least make two things that I want to finish that day with my business, and I have to finish it. And necessarily saying my business, let's just say anything I got to do within my day. And I have to map out my week. I got to start mapping out my week and being consistent with staying with that time on my schedule and what come and what flow. If it's that important, I could kind of wing it out my schedule. But if it's not, oh hell no, y'all, you shit out of luck. And I have to be like that. In order to make it, people don't see the vision that you have, and people in your life will be selfish. They will drain the fuck out of you, and you got to know how to say no.
Agreed.
And then with that consistency with me, I'm gonna pick a couple of small actions and show up. Um, the teeny action I gotta build self trust. So like every day, even if I work midnight, so it'd be a little, my days and nights be off a lot. So like sometimes what I do in a day, I normally get up at 4 a.m. I go to the gym by 5. However that look, write down my journal and I pray. I do my daily affirmations. I mean, I got plenty of books.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that time for me, that up and down. And however that look with my schedule, because it's not like I don't have a 30-day map schedule. I just have to plan better and be consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the reality.
I love it. I love it. So, who is C? Somebody up there is C. I don't know who C is. I only sent this to like 8 people, so I probably know who it is. But iPhone is Jaja.
Yeah,
Jaja still ain't talk. Go ahead, Dad.
yeah, good evening though. Pretty much I feel like we kind of all align with the thing of organizing and planning better. So I definitely agree with that. That's kind of a thing I'm conflicted with when I'm basically going about handling my business, especially dealing with the things that you can't control in life. It throws stuff off sometimes mentally for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I know another big thing that I had to understand with myself is making sure that I'm aligned with the right people because I feel like I spent a lot of significant amount of time around the wrong energy, around people that's not on what I'm on. So that's why I feel like doing stuff like the seminars and doing the seminars and doing these crash courses with people that's like on the same thought process that I'm on works better, or just being around people who just positive and motivated, like, hey, what you got going on, how's that going, like that keep me in that positive thought process, because that is one thing I definitely can say has messed me up through the years, is being around the wrong energies and people, like pessimistic people, and people just don't understand what I'm trying to do in life.
Yeah, and that man, it'll like put your fire out. You gotta be conscious of your energy, y'all. People will definitely put your fire out. I don't even talk to people a lot. If any of you guys get around me, like Rob was in my office, you rarely see my phone ring for real. Like I rarely talk to people unless it's business, and it's only because unless somebody is in business with you or doing business with you, or they actually understand what it takes to be successful at business, you get people that run all kind of BS by you. They, hey man, you think of this. I got people that's from the streets that will call me and say something stupid to me. I'll be like, bro, I got a whole MBA. What I'm gonna do? Go to jail and teach business classes in jail? So like, I'm like, dude, you gotta respect what I'm on. Like, you know what I'm saying? So the people around you, they are only, you can't control their mind. So you gotta control how you move, right? And I do that like pretty good. Like, and I'm telling you, it's not easy, is what I'm saying. But you have to say, okay, you're on that. Just do it over there. I could never force anybody to even come to something like this. I can't force you to do this, but if you own that, just stay over there with it. It's okay. And I gotta be cool with if it's any type of distance created because of it, or if if there's any ill feelings because of it, or he think he suddenly like, man, it is all good, bro.
Can I say something too?
Yeah.
Accountability. Hold yourself accountable. People will blame other people for things that's going on. No, baby, it's you. We allow certain things in our life. We allow certain things to happen. Without that accountability and you not holding yourself accountable, and you gotta pray. Y'all gotta pray and have real faith. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only way you gonna make anything work for real. You gotta station with God in your life first, and then however God look, it could be Buddhism. I'm not going against nobody religion, but you gotta put that first, and you really gotta hold yourself accountable. You cannot sit here and play the blame game. You can't point nobody that is they fault or I've been around this and this and that. No, you have to sit down with yourself and do some really searching about your business and how you want to level up with it. Because again, nobody's going to see your vision but you.
Mm-hmm. And
And
if
how
you
bad you want it, you got to put that foot forward and you got to shut them doors. No, people
Indeed.
will tell you I'm mean. I don't care. And I'm forever broke. No, because people will suck you dry if you don't know the word no.
But right, what you said, like exactly what you said, people got to hold themselves accountable. And one of the ways is hold yourself accountable is starting with, hey, I'm around the wrong energy. Hey,
definitely,
this energy is not right for me. So I need to
definitely,
take myself out of it.
yep,
So
definitely,
you got to recognize it first to even hold yourself accountable.
yep,
That's
definitely.
true.
And
And
you,
that's a blessing.
yep, and that always start with you got to take you got to assess your situation every day. Like literally every day you have to assess
Hmm.
where you are personally, professionally, and say, if I'm not where I want to be, why am I not there? And you got to say, okay, it's because of what I did here, because that's the only thing you could change. Is not because TT drugged me to the crack house. It's because I was around TT and I know she a crackhead. Like, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? It's got to
Yep.
be that, and it's just that. It's only just looking at it that way is the only way you can change it, because
Exactly. And
people
then
gonna be who they
sometimes
are.
you got people when they seasons, like sometimes TT might have been positive for this season, but right now TT going through stuff and now she's pessimistic. So I got to get on up out of here.
Get on up out of here, TT. I love you, TT. And once you see me moving and grooving, hopefully you catch on. Alicia, you have anything you want to add to this conversation? That's my lady, y'all. She doing hair. She had her sweet. But um, any more questions or anything, y'all? I will do 1-on-ones this week. If you guys have not,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, I'm working.
yeah,
I'm listening and working at the same time. But just to piggyback off of what everyone else was saying, just maintain a focus and just with me, I think just like completing like one task at a time is very essential. If you have like too many tasks and you just all over the place, like that'll like mess you up and take you off your focus as well.
Sure do.
all of that, even everything that we just said, y'all, it go back to what I was saying about having a destination. So when you know that you are doing something, this is what the end result look like. So let's say the end result is a six pack. If the end result is a six pack, you know the route to get to the end result. So for you to take the detours, and I did it, y'all. My lady is on it. She tell you I will go to the gym 4 5 days a week and eat the biggest bowl of ice cream and cake, cookies, everything. She like, baby, this like, but that's a detour. Ice cream and cake is a detour from a six pack. I wasn't really chasing a six pack, but just in general, that's how the thought process works, y'all. If you
Mhm.
know I need to do this, everything else is a detour. And a detour could be people, a detour could be chasing something stupid. Dang, I want to go to Chris Brown concert. You knew you were saving money for a house. Why are you worried about a Chris Brown concert? You taking a detour. You have to put your blinders on if you are really trying to accomplish a goal. And that is the main thing about the mindset. If you have the goal in mind, you know the type of people you need to be around. with the conversation I had yesterday with the brother William, the consultant, I understood what he was saying and I understood the process. I understood it and I understood the process of eliminating some of those clients, eliminating some of these conversations. You got to understand the process. You got to understand the destination and the route to get there. Anything else is a detour. And by the end of 6 weeks, I can't change your life in that aspect, but I want you to think about it. So when you do take the detour, you are at least knowledgeable of the detour, like I am about the ice cream and cake and cookies. I know that that's a detour from what I really want. Then you take the action. Okay, I need to slow down. I ain't had an energy drink in over a month. I did have me some cookies the other day, and I had pie like Sunday. It was disgusting. So I had another piece of a different pie. So I have taken detours in the last 3 or 4 days, but I'm getting back on it. I'm just getting back on it.
Where's the workbook?
I,
Workbook.
I sent you the workbook, Rob. I'll send you the workbook again. It's no problem. I'll send you
Okay.
the workbook again. Yeah. If anybody don't have the workbook, let me know. I will send the workbook. Matter of fact, because I do have a sort of a case of ADHD, I will make sure you get the workbook right now before we get off of here. It is called Entrepreneur Workbook. A couple versions, like I told y'all. It's been a crazy week, y'all. I've literally been back and forth with my VA about this workbook for like 3 days. But I got a good version, and if I update it, it'll be a year or so. I got a nice version that I'm comfortable with. So I sent you the workbook. Did you get the workbook?
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
My God. So I have anybody have a question about what I'm doing, like the whole process, anything like that?
So the workbook and everything I'm learning from here is different than the software I'm working on.
Yeah, man, that's you keep talking about this software, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with that. We will talk about the software in the program.
Okay.
This is something totally different. This is coaching. Yeah, we will talk about high level. Um, Probably I think it's like week 3, maybe. It's either week 3 or week 4. So we will discuss systems and automations, and I will talk about high level. But we can put together some time for you. I got a new client that actually asked me today, like, can you come on? So what I may do is like set another day aside and do like high level tutorials, or I may record high level videos for you guys.
Uh,
Yeah. I love high level. So any other questions, y'all?
Nope. I'm good on the questions.
Did everybody get the homework? Let me share my screen again. So if y'all need to screenshot the homework, y'all can screenshot the homework.
I'm good. I screenshotted it, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good on questions.
Yeah, we keep it simple, y'all. Just screenshot the homework and please do this. Even if you miss a day, just when you get in there the next day, try to journal whatever you can remember from the day before when you had a limiting thought, a limited thought that creeped in. All right, y'all.
I'm
Next,
gonna throw my sorry to cut you off. I'm gonna throw my number in the group chat just in case somebody want to hit me up. I am Shay. If you want to talk or whatever, I'm down to hold people accountable. If you want to look for somebody different,
I love it.
um, so I'll do that. If somebody want to text me or hit me up or anything, you want some affirmations or you need some motivation or whatever, I got you.
Definitely. And I will be touching base with everybody throughout the week to see how they doing. It's not like it's gonna be like a week and then I just get with y'all for the week. It's not like an internet or a social media type of thing where we just come on and talk every week. It's a real program, and I have like a real end result in mind, and that's what I want to get y'all to. So that's why it's a workbook. It's a lot to it. Like solely appreciate everybody that joined us, and I hope that everybody can make it back next week. We're gonna do this the same time every week. If you can't make it back, do not. It's so life is life, but commitment is commitment. And I'm telling you, if you cannot commit to something, then you are probably not committing to anything and you are running yourself crazy. Just doing anything with no no commitment. So I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the next couple days. I will touch base with you guys between tomorrow and Saturday, and we will have some one-on-one time before next Thursday. I just want to get to understand what your business is and what your goals are with the program. So we will have a one-on-one session with everyone, even if it's just 20 to 30 minutes where we just talk about your business and your goals. I'll be in there like a therapist. Y'all write a little bit in those sessions. I'll be writing, and then I'll make sure that you get the outcome that you're looking for. Other than that, everybody enjoy the rest of the evening, and you can give me any feedback if you got any feedback in private. Y'all, I appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Nice meeting everybody. Even though I was 30 minutes late, I was asleep.
It's all good. You got here.
Thank you. Nice meeting everyone. See y'all next week.
Yeah, same.
All right, y'all.
Mm-hmm.